Hey Brody, welcome to the 2019 OEC golf event. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through, put you back in your dress position, and then we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So I got you here in your setup. Let's first of all just take a look at your posture. We can see your spine is nice and straight on a slight tilt, perhaps a little vertical. Legs come down into a nicely unlocked position. Your arms hang down off your vertical spine, and then your club works out to the ball. So ideally what we do is if I was going to work on your golf game and revise your posture, I get you to sort of push your tail out and up a little bit, keep your sternum and your head out over your toes a little, and that would increase the angle to your spine. We can keep your legs exactly unlocked as they are. Arms would continue to hang down as they are, looking a little bit better off that tilted spine, and the club could work out to the ball at that point. So taking it from this little bit of a tall position in your spine, pronating your hands and arms a little, to a little bit increased angle to the spine, and sort of increasing angle relationship between your arms and the golf club would be ideal. From here, let's go ahead and take a look at your alignment. We can see that your feet are aiming in this direction here. Carry that out towards the fairway. Theoretically, club face is supposed to run parallel to your feet. Parallel lines on camera would have an appearance of converging, and with that scenario set up pretty much right down the center of the fairway, so that's superb. One thing I do want to point out with the rest of your body relative to the alignment with your feet, the rest of your body is going left. So your feet are going in good position. See how we can see the back of your left leg? That means your knees are actually going over in this direction. Your hips are also following. Your forearms are following in that direction, and your shoulders, you can really see that they're following in that direction too. So we're probably going to see you swing the golf club a little bit from an outside to inside swing path, likely pull the ball to the left, and then depending on its dispersion left or right tendencies will be indicative of what does the club face do. So I'd assume you probably have a tendency of leaving the face open. You hit the ball left, and then typically you're probably producing a little bit of a fade the majority of the time based on just the setup. If we go ahead and do a little split screen comparison here, and we bring up a model swing of Jordan Spieth, we can see that first of all, see the increased angle to his spine, which is what I was talking about. And then I'm not sure if you can look at his knee. See how we see is a little bit of his left leg. We definitely can see that his shoulders are much more square. So his feet, knees, hips, arms, and shoulders are all running in the same direction, parallel left of his target line. So that would be this scenario here. Okay? At this point in time, we take a look at the swing. Want to draw the golf club back by creating good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the club. We want to see the club travel back along the red line, so it's traveling back on proper plane. At this point in time, we want to incorporate some wrist hinge into play where we're transitioning the club head from below to above our hands. And at this point in time, we want to move the club from red up to yellow or blue. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, the left arm and club can either situate itself on the yellow line as we see here, or it can go right up to the blue line, or actually anywhere in between. As with Jordan, we can see he sets his left arm of the club on the blue line. We have full shoulder rotation, and we do this about a very stable right leg. Let's go ahead and watch you initiate your takeaway here. You move your hands and arms outside of the swing plane. A lot of that has to do with the fact that you set up open with your arms and your shoulders. So that's the line they want to travel on. So your hands, arms, and club go outside a swing plane, almost like you're sort of taking the club outside or picking it up. You can see this kind of backswing actually sort of with a Freddie Couples or a Jim Furyk. Freddie just picks the club up and then at the last second turns his shoulders, and then on the way down drops it back in the slot. And that's the big thing. If you do take it back steep, it's okay, but you have to create a lot of rerouting with the club to get it to return back to plane. As we continue to move back here, we see good wrist hinge, but again, you're still too steep and outside. And as we work, now you start to shallow it out. So your brain's starting to tell you, hey, I got to shallow this out, otherwise I'm not going to have any power. So if you're going to get to this position here, you might as well just go ahead and swing your hands, arms, and golf club to bring the club around you and inside to initiate the takeaway. Okay? From here, you've got good turn, stable right side. Arms are in good geometry relative to the core. Club's in good position relative to your arms. I mean, you're in a pretty solid position right here. My only concern is everything was set up open to begin with, so we're very likely going to see an over-the-top move attacking the ball from out to in. In Jordan's case, what we're going to see is we're going to see him drive his weight from his right to his left, fire his knees and his hips to the target, unwind the core and fire the hands. And in doing so, he's going to bring the golf club from the blue-yellow V zone back down on top of red, which is where the club originated from. And that's exactly what we see here. With Jordan, the golf club has returned right back to being on plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the swing is a relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. Let me just actually clear that off. Between the lead forearm and the golf club, and I refer to this as the backwards check mark. Simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands coming into the hitting zone, and this is going to allow us to create a lot of power in the golf swing, let alone getting the club to return back to plane, which is what allows us to hit a straight shot in accordance to our alignment. Let's watch you create your transition back into the ball here. So there we are there. Hands and arms are dropping. Yeah, you're moving your hands and arms out in front of you. So I mean, we can look at, let's actually come down to this frame here, because that's about the same distance your hands are from the ground than Jordan's. And what we see is here's your lead forearm, there's your golf club, you got a backwards check mark. So creating some power in your golf swing isn't going to be that much of an issue. But what we do see is we see that the club has not returned back to plane, and the club shaft is coming into the ball too steep. Your club shaft is sitting on an angle right now about 59 degrees. If the club head were back over here, it'd be sitting at about 39 degrees. When we come in steep, there's just not going to be a lot of power and the inability to hit the ball straight. So you can see, the difference in the angle relationship coming into the ball between you and Jordan. And then because of that, we can track the club head coming into the ball. And what we're going to see with you is your club's going to be coming into the ball too steep and therefore end up attacking the ball from out to in. So if we connect the dots here, here's how your club descended into the ball. Club never returned back to the red line. With Jordan, the club's back at the red line here, tracks into the golf ball directly from the red line. And again, like I said, this is what allows us to hit a straight golf shot in accordance to our alignment, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. Okay, so at this point in time, let's look at the path of the golf club. We can see with Jordan, the club is inside the ball. It expands out to make contact. Club moves through in a nice, natural, subtle arc. Your club is stuck outside the ball, drops down and across to make contact, and keeps moving across the ball. Very simply put, if you square the club face up to that swing path, you're going to pull the golf shot in this direction. Now again, where were your shoulders and arms set up? Yeah, they were set up left, and I had stated you're probably going to swing the club in that direction. So if you square the club face up, it follows red. If you over-release the club, not only is it going to go left, but you're going to hit a pull draw or pull hook. So I'd mentioned that your tendency is going to be to leave the club face open. That allows you to hopefully block the ball a little bit to the right of that swing path, create a little bit of left-to-right spin, and you hit a nice soft fade, and the ball will find the intended target. If you happen to leave that club face too open, you block the ball even further right of the out-to-in path, and then the face is therefore wide open, and we're hitting some kind of a block slice. So the end result of your golf shot is solely dictated based on the timing of the club face. When the club is attacking the ball from the outside, moving to the inside, if we square the face up, ball follows the red arrows. Under release the club, follows yellow, and if we time it properly, we'll just hit this sort of soft little fade and the ball will find the intended target. Last thing I want to talk about through impact here is that Jordan's right heel's off the ground. Your heel is still flat on the ground through impact. Notice what Jordan does with his foot as he swings through. The heel comes up off the ground onto the toe of the right foot. We can count the spikes in the shoe. He gets his weight on his left side, hips square around, shoulders fully rotate, hands are high, clubs back in behind him. This is a great finishing position. Let's see what you do, if anything, with your right foot. So nothing's happening with your right foot there. You're keeping the weight back. So very simply, one of the things you definitely want to do, and it's really, really simple, is just learn how to swing through, bring your right heel off the ground, get up on the toe of your right foot, and that'll get your weight to your left side when you're done. Very, very simple move. It'll aesthetically make your golf swing more efficient, obviously create a little bit more power, easier to do. And the other thing too is it's going to alleviate some stress on your lower back, because what's happening is you're firing all this energy through, but you're keeping your foot affixed to the ground. So something's having to take the whiplash of the golf swing, and it's your lower back. Okay? Overall, you've got some really nice athleticism with your swing. I really like how your hands work. You bring your hands back, you fire through. I like how your core's working. You coil your shoulders, you uncoil through. You want to get to a good finish, or your upper body does, but your foot just doesn't allow it. So just create that proper footwork, like I said, and pretty simple. You get yourself through to a really nice finish. At this point in time, the biggest thing for you, if you want to be consistent and hit straight shots, you need three things. You got to aim well. You got to bring the club down on plane, and then you got to square the face up. Unfortunately, we're missing all three criteria. Your feet are aiming well, but the rest of your body's going way left, so that's telling you you're going to swing in that direction. So the aim is left. You're coming at the ball from over the top. Right here, as you start your downswing, you come over the top. It's causing you to swing from an out to in path, and at that point in time, it doesn't matter what the club face does, because if you over release it, it's going left. Under release, it's going right. And if you time it okay, you will hit a nice soft little fade. So that ball, actually, I can see it in the air. That ball is basically right there. And if it has a little bit of left or right spin, like I said, that ball is going to fade right back towards its target, and you'll hit a great golf shot. So it doesn't mean you can't hit good golf shots, but this is the flight pattern we're going to see, and it does require a lot of timing on your part to be able to do this. Square it a little too much, going left, under release it, it's going right, and it's just going to make it difficult on your consistency. Okay, but the athleticism looks really, really nice. If at any point in time you want to work on any of these aspects, certainly feel free to contact me. I teach out at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to structure a program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments, looking for a unique gift to give to your guests, touch base and be happy to discuss my swing analysis services with you. Anyways, hope you had a great day. Hope you enjoy getting an opportunity to see your swing on video, and hope you enjoy the rest of your fall and get a few more games in.